Hello everyone! Today we're doing this wonderful watercolor that you see, and I'm going to go through the tools that you need for this. So what I'm going to be using is a couple of different colors of water-soluble markers. So these are Zig Clean color brush pens, but you could use whatever you like. I'm choosing 2 different blue colors, but you could choose 2 pinks, that sort of thing. I'm also going to use a compass or a stencil and a number 6 brush. I'm also going to use a gray marker for the shadow. And I'm also going to use some white gouache for my highlight in my words, but you could also use a white gel pen. You're also going to need some type of eraser and a pencil. I like a kneaded eraser because you can change its shape and it doesn't leave any eraser shavings. So let's begin. I'm going to use my compass to create a circle. This is where a stencil would also come in handy. I'm just going to use this compass because I like that I can change the size of it. And pencil doesn't have to be super dark, just enough so that I can see it. The next thing that I'm going to do is write my quote. I'm going to do the quote, "See good in all things," but you could do whatever quote you like. Now this next part of the video is a little bit sped up just so that way you don't have to look through me making mistakes and erasing them, but just know that this is sped up just a little bit to save some time. So I'm staying within my circle and drawing my letters, and you can see that they're kind of conforming to the edge of my circle a little bit. So I'm going in and adjusting things, making sure it's the way that I like it before I go in with my gray marker. So I'm stamping off some of the pencil, making sure it's not too dark. Again, another reason why I love a kneaded eraser. So this is my Tombow dual brush pen that I'll be using. I'm going to choose a light gray color, and I'm using the large tip at the end, the brush end of this. So I'm kind of using the side of it and making some pretty chunky marks to fill in my letters. Now I am doing a little bit of hand lettering in this where you do hard on the downstroke and light on the upstroke to give you that nice calligraphy looking letters. I'm not sticking to my pencil lines all that much, but just a little bit as a guide. Pencil helps me so I don't spell things wrong, although I can spell things wrong still with that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in and start painting in some of our letters with our dual brush pen, or brush pens. I'm using this blue color for the top of the letters, and I have a lighter one for the bottom. Now blue can be pretty strong, so I am leaving a gap in the middle just so that way you can get a nice ombre effect with the colors. So I go usually word by word, or I go letter by letter, or line by line. It makes it easier because I'm left-handed, and sometimes these brushes, the ink does not dry as fast, and I'm going in with watercolor to blend it out, so it makes it a little bit easier for me to not smear or stamp the color around if I do it this way. So what you're going to do is you're going to blend these 2 colors together, and I did pick some colors that were pretty similar, so you're not getting as much of an ombre effect as some of the other ones that I've done. But what's nice about watercolor is you can go in and adjust the colors and make them exactly how you want. So I'm just going in and I'm going to do this for each and every letter. Do my color on the top, do my color on the bottom, and then blend the 2 together. I think that doing it at least word by word is helpful because sometimes the marker can dry, and so if you did all the letters at once, sometimes your first words blend really well, but then when you get to the end, the color doesn't want to blend as well because it's set and dried on the paper. So it's also a good tip to go word by word because your colors will blend better in the end. So again, just going through with my brush and making sure each letter is the way that I want. Now I wouldn't worry about pencil lines that you see. You don't really see them at the end once you erase everything. So you can see I have some pencil lines still on there. It really is not going to matter at the end. And I also wouldn't worry about how even you think the watercolor is. Watercolor can... So I'm just finishing up some of these letters, and like I said, we are going to let this dry for a little bit before we jump into our flowers. So with the flowers, what you're going to do is you're going to use a color that you use within your markers. So we used a dark blue and a lighter blue. So those are going to be the colors we're going to use for our flowers. The flowers, what you do is you create a dot, and then you take your brush that you're using, that number 6, get it wet, and you're going to drag that color outward with your clean brush. And what happens is that the paint bleeds outward into your petals. And you're going to do that all the way around your circle. So I have a lighter blue here, not one that we use in our letters, but still, it's going to be a real pretty color, and I think it's going to go well with my letters just because there wasn't as much variation in the ones that I was using. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a bunch of flowers using this technique, this method. So my camera cut me off for part of the last bit of doing these flowers. So I'm just showing the image that we were working on because that's what the flowers are going to end up looking like when we get all the way to the end. So I do some big, some little, and I just kind of dot the flower color flowers around wherever I think that they are needed. The last part that we're going to do for this painting is going to do a gray shadow with our Tombow dual brush pen. So I'm going on the right side of each one of these letters and creating a gray shadow. So imagine the light is coming from the left side, so you're creating shadow on the right wherever that light is hitting. I do this for everyone.